Welcome back to CBS News Election 2024. Good morning. You might be surprised seeing me here, but we've been on the air all night following this election. We are waiting for a vote count that could put Donald Trump over the top. It is 5 a.m. in the East, 2 a.m. in the West. Joined here by my colleagues. We've all been here for nearly 12 hours watching the race to 270 electoral votes. Donald Trump has 266 and Kamala Harris 218. We are waiting on 4 battleground states. CBS News rates Wisconsin as leaning Republican. Nevada is also lean Republican. Let's take a look now at Arizona. That's a toss-up. And then, as is Michigan at this hour, also considered a toss-up as we await votes. Earlier this morning, Donald Trump came out to address supporters in West Palm Beach and claimed victory.
It's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
Donald Trump today promising to fix it and usher in a golden age of America. Let's head over to Major Garrett, who is at the data desk. And Major, let's dive into these numbers about why we haven't been able to call some of these remaining battleground states.
Sure, let's go to Michigan, all right? What's outstanding? Well, we've got vote in Wayne County, Oakland County, Kalamazoo, a little bit in Kent County, Grand Rapids. What is the needs category for Vice President Harris? 66% in Michigan. What is our projection? Based on our estimates, 56%. Steep hill. But Michigan, as you will see as I go across the country, east to west, looks probably better than any other place. Again, outstanding vote. In Wisconsin, principally in Milwaukee County, 119,000 ballots relating. That's mail vote. We're waiting for that to come in. What is the needs quotient for the vice president? 82%. What's our projection? 70%. Steep hill to climb. Let's go out to Nevada. We have 93% of the vote in. Where is it outstanding? Well, a little bit here in Clark County, a little bit in Washoe County. What are the needs? 67%. What is our estimate? 36%. Wow, that is the steepest hill so far. Let's go to Arizona. That's where things look with 55% of the vote in. Most of it still outstanding in Maricopa and Pima County. That's not a surprise. But what is the needs quotient? 52%. Where's the vice president? 50%. So Arizona, of the 4, looks the best. I mentioned Michigan, possibly. No, it's Arizona. But in all 4 states, looking at the needs, looking at the outstanding vote and our estimates, there is no place other than Arizona where you could say there is a statistical probability that is more reasonable than not of a Harris victory. Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, the hill is incredibly steep to climb.
And Nora, as we were just talking here, Major was just laying out for us Michigan. I was texting with a Democratic lawmaker who said the issue of the Middle East was just so decisive in this key swing state that has such a large, not just Arab, but Muslim population. Also an issue that resonated surprisingly so for some Democrats among not just progressives, but on college campuses, but specifically in the state of Michigan, thinks that was decisive. This lawmaker also texting me this was a colossal failure of an election for the Democratic Party because of the Middle East and the economy. The party needs a complete rebuild. Because of the decisiveness of this loss and winnability of the race, shows a total lack of vision, boldness, and a cautious anti-Trump bashing campaign. Big mistakes. Democrats already really, flogging themselves for the loss that they seem to be headed for this evening.
And we knew that because many of the critics in Dearborn, which has the largest Arab American population for any city in America, we saw the local paper did not endorse, came out against, and has been highly critical of the Biden-Harris administration. And so a number of those what were reliably Democratic voters sat on their hands in this.
Right. And not just to condemn the Biden administration unequivocal support for Israel, but to say to Joe Biden and then Kamala Harris, come visit us, come hear us, consider a change to policy. Ed's shaking his head because you spent time out there.
And there were
they
so
would
many
not do it
in our interviews.
And feared being booed.
Yeah.
Should they go?
And the way that
time.
she would react to it is what really grated a lot of those guys in Michigan that we spoke to. That she'd be like, excuse me, I'm speaking here, and I don't, of course I went in that war, but I want to talk about this. Just that added up too much. And there was a real desire to hear her out and to meet with her and to think that they could get around to supporting her. And ultimately, especially in the last 2 weeks, they just said, there's no way.
Because she was perceived as having more empathy towards the humanitarian situation there. The United Nations.
And we know she'd been the one telling the
catastrophic
president to talk about
there.
it. Yeah.
Right. And President Biden didn't talk about it for so long, didn't talk about the civilian casualties, partly because of what the chessboard he was dealing with here, trying to goad a right-wing, reluctant Israeli leader towards reining him in, the bear hug of a strategy. Again, we're coming back to national security impacting domestic. That just, if she had, and this will be one of those things in autopsy, talked more about it, would it have made any difference?
Really thinks,
I don't know.
I can't imagine. I mean, if Donald Trump wins every battleground state and is doing, and women aren't turning out for Harris and union voters aren't turning out for Harris.
What about college kids?
And college kids, women are fine, but Trump is doing much better with young college men. None of that has to do with Michigan. I mean, what'll be interesting, with Dearborn or the issue of Gaza and Israel, some of the problem is she was stuck with being a part of an incumbent administration that has to handle making big decisions about foreign policy. And could she really have done anything to get to a position where she would have been somehow able to appeal to those voters and not mess up the Biden foreign policy? It's probably impossible.
No, but that's the dance they do in the campaign.
Exactly.
You're talking about dropping into restaurants and buying sandwiches. I mean, it's
But you don't
it's
lose all 7 battleground states because you dropped into a restaurant. I mean, there are bigger problems here.
We spent a lot of time talking about Puerto Rico and Pennsylvania, I'm just going to say, in terms of slivers of electorates
When you talk
in
about
certain states. And they can be
But
decisive.
it didn't matter.
Well, that's my point, though, that she spent a lot of time doing things in courting very small slivers. This was a sliver she did not. You could argue either way, but it was a choice, and it was alienating.
None of those choices are what's contributing to the loss here.
I
will tell those Democratic lawmakers that. But those are the texts
Well, obviously,
I'm getting, John.
Democratic lawmakers are going to take every one of these small things that represent their constituencies and say, this is the reason you lost, because it makes them the kingmaker of the next chapter of the Democratic Party. But these are bigger problems than small individual
But it was for progressive Democrats and young progressive Democrats.